Hey guys, this is Marshall Kirby from Orchard Hill Farm Equipment. Today behind me, we are featured out the new NS Series cab tractor. The NS Series has been out for a handful of years now. The cabs have only been out for about, I don't know, 2 or 3. The cab models have been extremely hard to get, especially the past couple years during COVID. They are getting more readily available now. We just, got in a couple NS6010s, which are 60 horsepower. So in this lineup of the cab models, they offer a mechanical shuttle and a hydrostatic in an NS4710, which is 45 engine horsepower, and an NS6010, which is 60 horsepower. The model that we're looking at here is a 6010 hydrostatic. That's probably going to be our #1 seller in this series. We have a lot of those on order and have already sold quite a few. This one behind us actually sold 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it's a great tractor. It's one of Kioti's largest compact frame tractors. So in Kioti's lineup, they have a DK series, which ranges from 40 to 60 horsepower, an NX, which is 45 to 60 horsepower, and now an NS. Think about the NS as being an NX, but more dumbed down on simple stuff. So more mechanical levers. It's still going to come with a lot of those nice features that the NX did, but on a basic level, meaning, not much electronics. There was a lot more electrical stuff on the NX, which, the fact of the matter is a lot of these tractor people they want less electronics. They like more simplicity, things that they can fix themselves if something goes wrong. So I look at this as a DK and an NX combined. That's really what it is. It's a phenomenal tractor. This tractor rear end and a lot of the features on this tractor actually came from their old machine, which was going to be a DK SE series back from 2013 and prior, pre-emissions, before they changed. So that was actually my favorite tractor they ever produced back in that era, and they kind of brought it back with this machine and updated some stuff. So a lot of reliability, and the other big thing is this machine has an awesome front axle, which we'll show you in a minute. That's a big upgrade from some of their other machines. So, all right, we'll dive into it. We'll show you some of the features that we got and show you what this machine has to offer. So, front loader is called a KL5810. This loader lifts up in the same range of an NX, which is right around 2,700 pounds to full height at the pivot pin. It's got that premium 72-inch bucket on the front. It is pre-drilled for a bolt-on cutting edge, and you will see the added cutting edge there. Great feature. Nice that you're not wearing out the bucket there. And you'll see, this added welded support tab on the lower end of the bucket just reinforces when you're banging into rocks and piles of dirt. Skid steer quick attach, as every Kioti is nowadays. That's universal, so you can go into any different attachment you want. This customer added a third function valve up front. We'll show you the rest of that featured out on the inside of the cab after, but that's to run a hydraulic grapple, snowplow, stuff like that. The loader grill guard is stationary. You don't have to move it to get in the hood, which is nice. This is a loader level indicator, which basically helps tell you when you're inside the cab that your bucket is flush with the ground to help you dig into dirt piles correctly. They tried to make a lot of the hydraulic lines, hard lines, not soft lines. So you will see, all these hard lines. I know the soft lines are kind of covering them up, but they run through here and run up there and run back there. So just nice. Those hard lines last a lifetime. Unless you bang them off rocks or something, they are not getting damaged, and they are lasting a lot longer than your traditional, what I call wet lines, soft lines. So that's a nice feature. We'll open up the hood real quick, give you a quick overview of what's underneath there. This hood actually is pretty much the same hood as the NX style, which is a one-piece hood. You don't have to fold the grill guard. I like this hood design a lot. It's all metal, which is great and rugged. Interstate battery up front, and you'll have a Donaldson air filter there, antifreeze overflow. You got some AC, AC stuff. Screened in on all these different, radiators and different things here, all screened in, which is great. There's some main fuses, 60 amp fuses up here. Antifreeze actual fill in the radiator right there. Back there, your regen system and some of the AC stuff. Over on this side, tucked away, is just going to be some different, servicing points that we have. There is, it's pretty open on this one. It's a good design. Underneath the hood of this NS series, there is quite a bit of room, so I do like that. Your engine oil filter right here, really easy access. Your front axle fill is right there, and there is drain plugs in the bottom of the front axle. Also, just take a peek at how rugged built this front axle is. This is actually bigger than their NX series front axle and DK series front axle by a long shot. The castings are huge, way, way beefier. This is made to take some much more hard use in the woods and banging around off stuff. Engine oil fill is tucked away a little bit. You do probably, need a skinny funnel to access it, but my hands are touching the fill point right there. It's not bad, but it is a little tucked away. Right here is your fuel filter. There's a sight glass at the bottom of it, so you can see if it's clean, dirty, gelled up, whatever. Up top here is a primer for when you lose fuel or you change your fuel filter, you can prime it. This plastic element, and it goes into the fuel filter, is a heater. There is a fuel heater on board of this tractor standard, which is a great standard feature, and definitely something good to have in New England with our climate. Over here you have a throttle cable. That's pretty basic. If something goes wrong with it, that's where you access it. Main hydraulic pump down here, engine oil dipstick right back there and back of these hydraulic lines. Yeah, and drain plugs on your bottom of your oil pan back there. The third function valve is kind of tucked away over here. And then you have a frame that connects to the back axle from the loader to help disperse the weight of the loader controls. The biggest thing that I'll mention on these foot pedals, so these, obviously this is an HST. The NS series is a mechanical, what I'd call a mechanical HST. What that means is basically it's got direct linkage going to the side of the transmission telling it to go forward and reverse. The NX series had these same foot pedals, except they were ran with electrical components, meaning it sensed how hard you were pressing it and told the tractor how fast to drive. If something goes wrong with that, a little bit more complicated because you got the electronics involved. If something goes wrong with this, it is A or B. It's either external, one of your pins came loose, or you banged one of the linkages off a rock and bent it, or major internal problems. So much easier to fix if it's one of those small problems on this design, which a lot of people desired. You also got a footstep on both sides to get in and out. Little feature, a lot of people don't take note on it, but nice to get in and out on both sides. We have this little plastic piece on the floor, but the floorboard's completely flat. There's a ton of leg room in this tractor, which is a great feature as well. We're going to go over the rest of the cab features in a minute. I'm going to finish going over some of the outside stuff. Side view marker lights for blinkers and whatnot. Front windshield wiper. You can add a rear, but it doesn't come standard. Top cab lights. There's rear cab vents back here. These rear cab vents are on each side. That helps keep the dust and crap out of the cab. Big thing, these windows open. So difference between this and a DK is that the cab is much longer and wider. These windows open and can collect some fresh air, which is a great feature. Tires wise on this one, we have R4 industrial tires featured today. There's 4 tire choices though. There's R14, R4, R1 Ag, and turf tires. So all 4 of those tires are available. This customer just decided on industrials. Coming to the back end, the rear end here, again, like the front end, it's really beefy, built very, very well, all cast steel, very rugged built. 3-point hitch is a more deluxe 3-point hitch that you will find on the NX series. So the NX series has this similar 3-point hitch. What that means is these extend in and out and adjust up and down. Makes it way easier to hook up your attachments. Also on the side links, you have pull pins. Yeah, if I can get this pull pin out. So these pull pins basically, there it is. These pull pins basically adjust the width of these arms. Except there's so much paint on this brand new arm that it's not going to move for me. Let's see if this one's easier to move. No, they got these super tight. There it is. So that basically extends in and out so you can adjust the width of these arms, and then you lock them back in with these pins. Very good design. A lot of other tractors have turnbuckles, and what happens is you're driving around and your turnbuckles become loose and fall off. These will not fall off, and they're very rugged built. So good feature. 3-point hitch lifts and lowers with this lever here, which is great. So you can actually lift and lower these arms without being on the tractor. You can do it from the outside. Drawbar, rear PTO. dipstick for your hydraulic oil right here, hydraulic oil fill. So those are your two hydraulic oil parts. Top link, and there's 2 or 3 different adjustments there. Rear remote, one set standard. You can add a second set. Nice big little window, or lower window here to see what's going on in your 3-point hitch. And obviously your cab window opens. You'll see the defrostable window setup. This is windshield washer fluid, side marker lights, top cab lights. A lot of the basic normal features. We'll open up the cab, show you a little bit about that. Before I do, I'm just going to drop this hood real quick. So underneath the cab right here, obviously we got a step, we got a fuel tank. Tucked away, we have one of the 2 hydraulic filters right there. It is protected pretty well, and there's one on each side. So the hydrostatic transmissions are going to run 2 filters, the shuttle shift run 1. So that's one of your 2 hydraulic filters. The other will be on the other side in a similar location. Inside the cab here, this cab is just very, very roomy to begin with, which is great. The seat is all the way back right now, but it will come, quite a ways forward, so you can figure out what, fits you. The seat also, as you'll notice, hydraulic compression. You can adjust that with this turn knob here. Great feature. It changes how spongy it is, how tall or low it is. These windows we talked about that pop out, you will see they'll grab some fresh air. Even on a hot summer day, with your AC cranking, it still gets hot in here. Sometimes you need to recirculate the air in the cab. Different plug-ins, USB port right there. That's a great little feature. Plug in phone or something, and then your standard 12-volt outlet. Fuse box is actually underneath this little plastic section here, which is cool. You can access it from inside the cab. Cup holder, pretty big size right there. Great, definitely a necessity. Low, medium, and high transmission. Basic, selector here. If it was a shuttle shift, this gets cut out right here, and there's a 4-speed, standard transmission lever there. Also, this would get cut out right here if this was a shuttle, and have a forward and reverse lever right there. Because this is a hydrostatic, it doesn't have that. Brakes are splittable, and they also stay together. So right now they're locked. If you want to set your parking brake, you push down on this, push down on that. And then releasing it, you just push on it and go with the flow. This right here you push on, and you can adjust your tilt steering wheel. So that's a great feature. Get it to where you like it, lock it in, good to go. Blinkers, headlights, all that normal stuff right here. All right, now we got all this cool stuff over here. I'll kind of scooch over and point out some of the stuff. So first, you have an armrest right here. It is retractable out of the way if you don't want it there, but it's quite comfortable to operate everything with the armrest. Right here is your 3-point hitch. This tractor has draft control standard. That's going to be for if you're, disc harrow in a field, plow in a field, something like that. The draft control comes in handy. Over here, a lot of open ports to add lights and different things and different features. Right here is cruise control. This tractor has cruise control with a hydrostatic. That's going to magnetize and lock down your forward or reverse pedal when you're driving to lock in cruise control. This is your regen system. This right here is auto and manual PTO. What that means is if you have it in auto, every time you lift and lower your mower or whatnot, the PTO will turn on and off for you. In manual, you are physically turning it on and off every single time you want to with this button right here. So that's going to be your PTO on and off. This is auto or manual PTO. Up here, cab lights, windshield wipers, rear defrosters, basic stuff. Rear remote setup, you can have actually up to 3 on this tractor. Most commonly 1 or 2 is set up. From the factory, 1 is going to come standard. Great setup. I prefer the rear remotes being right here. All your main controls, your throttle, your rear remotes, and your loader joystick control right there. All easy access, awesome, featured. Some tractors have those rear remotes placed really in an awkward place, like on your hip or something way back here where you're just uncomfortable. And it's nice to be able to operate them right here because a lot of times, you're turning your head and also kind of cocking your body to the side a certain degree, and it's just comfortable to do it on this tractor, not do, it way back here and whatnot. Throttle right there. This right here is your loader joystick. This is an add-on third function valve that got added, so this joystick is different than the standard one, just looks wise. There's 2 buttons on it also that operate your third function up front right there. Those will operate that. there's a loader lockout, so you can lock the loader in the air. Both side cab doors are lockable. Over here, there's just a couple buttons. One is push button four-wheel drive, which they actually started using back in the late 2000s, 2010, 2012 era on the old version of this tractor. It's been the same ever since, very, very bulletproof. And then your four-way flashers, and then you got your key and all that stuff. Up on the top of the cab, not much up there, just you got your actual vents and heat and AC, little visor. Probably the biggest feature that some of the other cabs don't have is a nice internal cab mirror like a car does, so you can see what the hell is going on in back of you. It's fully adjustable and whatnot. Definitely use this quite a bit, actually. I think this is more useful than the outside mirror, so that's a good feature. Yeah, I think we covered all the internal cab stuff, so we will we'll hop out. And again, this is the NS6010. The 4710 will be the exact same setup, just a different engine. And the shuttle shift, like I mentioned, is going to be all the same features, minus the cruise control, and you will have a couple extra shifters in the cab. And instead of having forward and reverse pedal, you will have a foot throttle down there and a clutch pedal. So yeah, this was the NS6010 or NS10 series full overview on the cab models. We did also have a video already done up on the open station, so check that out. Yeah, this is a great tractor for large property owners, small farmers. This is one of the largest compact frame tractors that you can get with this type of horsepower. So great for landscapers, snow removal guys. This is a huge tractor in the snow removal industry. 60-horse hydrostatic tractors are very desired in that industry. There's just a lot of people this tractor will apply to. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, this was the NS6010 hydrostatic cab overview, and yeah, if we can help you out on an NS series Kioti tractor or any other Kioti tractor, give us a call, 413-253-5456, or visit us on our website, www.orchardhillsales.com.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.